यहाँलाई फेरि पनि स्वागत छ दिस मर्निङ लाइभमा ग्यालेक्सी 4K न्यूज पछि ब्रजेश म पुनः यहाँको सामु एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट सेगमेन्ट लिएर आएका छौँ
आइसकेका छौँ र हामीले अघि न्यूजमा जानुभन्दा अगाडि झुलुक्क तपाईँलाई देखाएको थियौँ हामीले आज डाकेका छौँ डाकिनीका राइटर अथरलाई उहाँलाई हामी तपाईँलाई प्रस्तुत गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि उहाँको बारेमा एउटा इन्टरभ्यू हेर्छौँ।
दीपक शमशेर जङ्गबहादुर राणा लेखक हुनुहुन्छ। सन् 1950 मा काठमाडौँमा जन्मिएका राणा लेखकसँगै अभिनेता, टुर अर्गनाइजर, सफारी पार्क म्यानेजर, हन्टिङ एजेन्सी ट्राक्स एन्ड ट्रायल्सका अनर पनि हुनुहुन्छ। प्रोफेसनल हन्टर समेत रहेका राणा सफारी क्लब इन्टरनेसनलका आजीवन सदस्य समेत हुनुहुन्छ भने राणाले सिकारी, द हिमालयन हन्टर्स, जस्ट पासिङ बाई, रोड्स लेस ट्राभल्ड र डाकिनी हिमालयन क्वार्टेट नामका पुस्तकहरू सार्वजनिक गर्नु भएको छ। तिनै दीपक शमशेर जङ्गबहादुर राणा आजको हाम्रो अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ।
हाम्रो अतिथि आइसक्नु भएको छ दीपक दाई, यहाँलाई कार्यक्रममा स्वागत छ। एकदम यहाँलाई एकदम मेहनत गरेर हामीले कार्यक्रममा ल्याएको छौँ। थ्याङ्क यू फर कमिङ।
थ्याङ्क यू है खनालजी, समीरजी, थ्याङ्क यू द viewers. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope the viewers like what they hear today.
Of course.
यतिका धेरै किताबहरू लेखिसक्नु भयो, एक्टर पनि हुनुहुँदो रहेछ अहिले थाहा पाएँ मैले। But still you are media shy. We don't see you around a lot.
I am a very low key person. I don't go. I'm always under the radar. I've done a couple of. We did a couple of plays.
Theaters.
Yes, and I know him from a long time. But as far as like showing myself on TV and all, no, I don't do that.
But म तिमीलाई भन्छु, मैले उहाँलाई चिन्दाखेरि मैले उहाँलाई चिनेको थिएटरबाट। हामी न्यू शेक्सपियर वाल्स भने ग्रेटर राणाले डाइरेक्ट गर्नुहुन्थ्यो अनि हामीहरू उहाँसँग म धेरै खेलेको छु रङ्गमञ्चमा। तर उहाँको यो विभिन्न कुराहरूमा थाहा पनि थिएन।
I started, like I was in Gorkha Travels.
हजुर।
Then after that we started a safari park in Gokarna.
हजुर।
We used to run elephants out there.
ए
And I used to work like, I'm a workaholic.
हजुर।
दिनभरि त्यहाँ काम गऱ्यो, रातभरि पनि काम गर्थ्यौँ हामी, नाइट सफारी गर्थ्यौँ।
हजुर।
And I used to show the tourists
हजुर।
the game at night. And दुई-तीन चोटि त मैले त्यो the black leopard छ नि, त्यो पनि देखाइदिएको छु। People were shocked, how the hell यति के अरे 6-7 किलोमिटर away from Kathmandu यो leopard कहाँबाट आयो भनेर used to be shocked. And it was black.
Leopard कहाँ आयो?
It's a freak. They come in Gokarna. There's a lot of leopard around here. There's leopard everywhere. Where I stay in Lamatar, I see leopard every other day. I go into the forest. अहिले त जुगा सुगा छ म जान्न. But there's leopard everywhere.
तपाईँले म सोध्नु मलाई जस्तो तपाईँको अब इन्टरभ्यूमै हामीले सुन्दा यु हेभ एकदम बहुआयामी के यु हेभ डाइभर्स फिल्डमा तपाईँले काम गर्नु भएको छ होइन। तर किताबको कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि किताबमा कसरी इन्ट्रेस्ट भयो तपाईँलाई? हाउ डिड बिकम अ अथर?
Actually, I was always interested in writing.
हजुर।
म चाहिँ नि काठमाडौँ पोस्टमा I used to write under Going Bananas भन्ने एउटा they gave me a column.
हजुर।
It was called Going Bananas.
हजुर।
And I used to write under the pen name of Banana Rana. Nobody knew who I was. And I don't know, the Kathmandu Post people, did they do it purposely? किनभने मेरो फोटो कहिले पनि त्यहाँ कहिले कालो हुन्थ्यो, कहिले देख्दै नदेख्ने. Probably they didn't want to show who I was, because I was writing under a pen name. अनि त्यहाँबाट बिस्तारै त्यहाँबाट सुरु भएर then I started to write the first novel.
Right.
Then it carried on अलिकति अधुरो जस्तो लाग्यो.
हजुर।
Then I carried on to the second.
Okay.
त्यो पनि ठीक, let's do the third, let's do the fourth गरेर चारवटा किताब छ त्यहाँभित्र.
ए भने काठमाडौँ पोस्टबाट सुरु भएको यो हामीले तपाईँको लेखन राइट?
I was writing as well as doing writing for the Kathmandu Post.
Okay.
I was doing two things at the same time.
Okay.
अब मैले सुने अनुसार चाहिँ you keep on moving.
Oh, yes.
So what keeps you going? Energy ke ho?
I have a philosophy in life. I see people going from A to B, बिहान उठ्छ, office जान्छ, बिहान उठ्छ, के भन्छ कारखाना जान्छ, and they do this all their lives.
हजुर.
They do one thing
हजुर.
a million times.
हजुर.
I try and do a million things once. So that's my philosophy. I don't sit still.
हजुर.
Now I finished with this book.
हजुर.
That's put aside now.
हजुर.
I'm going towards promoting it for a series.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that right now the Indian actor Dilip Tahal,
हजुर.
he read it and he was like raving about it. Hey Deepak, I'm going to make a series 24 के भन्छ त्यो 5 को series बनाउँछु. I just read your second one. It's fantastic, and I'm only going to make it on the second book. I said, hey, Dilip, hold it. 4वटै पढ न अनि कुरा गरौँ.
हजुर.
And I'm also very happy to tell you, 7 days ago we got the book to Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh wow.
So that's the first step.
Right.
Now we want him to read it. Then if he gets interested, then we are going somewhere.
Interesting.
Tell us something about this book. Exactly, Dakini. What is it about?
Actually, it's surumai. There's a young girl. The first book. The first book, there's a girl, young girl, and then I got the idea of most of my heroes are female, heroine. So I said, hey, let's build up on the character of the girl. And she, through the years, she becomes like into Tantrism, into all sorts of philosophy. She is very powerful. By the end of the second book, she is like known throughout the world, but nobody knows exactly who she is. She is known to all the big akhadas in India. She is known to all the gombas in Tibet. But she is like going in and out. And if she speaks, it's law. That's how powerful she is. And there's a lot of intrigue also in it. The first book is she is organizing. She's not organizing. She's trying to desist the Dalai Lama from going out of Tibet. That's on the second book. The third book is on the Karmapa. The Karmapa actually went through Nepal into India. So what I do is I write faction. Faction is fiction.
Right.
I have a fiction. I have fact. And then I weave my fiction into the fact. So like for example, the earthquake, you had an earthquake. So that is the fact. Then I weave my story into the earthquake.
Right.
So the Karmapa time ma pani in Nepal bata jan lagdakheri how the Dakini played around. There's a lot of stories in the story, you know.
Dakini भने खास मैले पढ्दै Dakini हो त बुद्ध मैले रिड पढ्दैछु. यो स्पिरिचुअल टिबेटन स्पिरिचुअलिटीमा जोडिएको छ हैन बुद्धिस्ट फिलोसफी जोडिएको. Dakini भने खास के हो?
Khas, I mean, it's a female. She is mostly with the big gurus. I mean, I don't want to, what you call, I mean, I would like to just say she is like with the guru. And she is very, very powerful, and they एउटा अर्कोलाई उ गर्छ के अरे complement each other. But you can say they are a sort of a couple, and not even a couple. किनभने अब फेरि बुद्धिज्म को पिपलहरूले नराम्रो मान्ला हैन. So let us say they complement each other, they stay together. In fact, sometimes the Dakini, the female figure, is more powerful than the guru. You know, and we have हाम्रो Dakini चाहिँ नि हाम्रो वज्र बाराही छ नि. That is हाम्रो नेपाली उसमा चाहिँ नि Dakini उसमा फिगरमा त्यो छ.
And they are soulmates. Sort of soulmates?
Not they, you cannot say soulmates also. It's a very it's very hard to actually say what.
किताबै पढ्नु पर्ने भयो.
The complementary गर्छ उले उलाई सिकाइरा हुन्छ उले उलाई सिकाइरा हुन्छ. Tantrism, there's a lot of tantrism involved.
हजुर.
And tantrism ma ke garcha, I have no idea. I cannot speak about that. Okay, that's another field altogether. But basically they are together. And unirule ek arkalai sikaira huncha.
Okay, fair enough.
And so this Dakini, eventually she retires, and she's already built up a huge industry, which is as big as Coca-Cola all over the world, and she rules this. But in the front there's somebody else. So that's how it progresses. The first two books, the second and third book, is about Dalai Lama and Karmapa, but then the fourth book is entirely different. Please read it. I mean, I've been telling my friends, the first guy I meet who says, I've read that book, I will khutta dhoksu ra lunch khawne लाग्छ.
त्यसमा के प्रोसेस हुन्छ के म हुन्छ ग्यारेन्टी छ
अहिले सम्म
लन्च भए हुन्छ खुट्टा ल्याउनु पर्दा लन्च भए हुन्छ हामीलाई चाहिँ
दलिप तायलले सेकेन्ड बुक रिड गरेर ही इज ड्राइभिङ है म त यसलाई उ गर्छु यो गर्छु त्यो गर्छु भनेर सिरिज बनाउँछु भने आई से हे दिलीप why not read all four, then we'll see what we can do.
ब्रज यसो गरौँ तिमी र म दुवै पढौँ दुवै लन्च खान जाउँला पढ्नु पर्यो त दुवैले
कम्पिटिसनै गरेर पढ्नु पर्ने
कसले पहिले पढ्ने भनेर है त
फेरि यस्तो पनि छ कि I see these के अरे like when people go from they do that last question you asked me, I go around a lot and see I like philosophy. I am a big fan of Japanese philosophy. I write, and most of my books are on the sword saint Miyamoto Musashi. He wrote a book called A Book of Five Rings. The Book of Five Rings is the art of war. These are the two books that all the businessmen read now. It's like it's the Bible of the business community. They keep it under the pillow and read it every day. I hope. But so my books are mostly philosophy based on Musashi, the Book of Five Rings. And ule ke bhancha bhane you have to learn the good and you have to learn the bad. Without learning the bad, you don't know what is good. Without learning good, you don't know what is bad. And just like Buddha, you tread the middle way. Good pani sikne, bad pani sikne, and go on the middle path. So he says the good and bad mix garera, the central path. This is what you take. Musashi le pani त्यही कुरा गर्छ जसले बुद्धले गरे के अरे सिद्धार्थले गरेको जस्तो.
मध्य मार्ग भनेको त अहिलेको सबभन्दा बढी हामीलाई चाहिएको नै त्यही छ. मध्य मार्ग भन्ने नै छैन. Either this or that, everything and everyone is extremely polarized.
And basically you see all the stuff that is happening now, because what they are doing now is getting to a position of power with money or politics or whatever, but internally they haven't trained themselves to, when you get to that spot, you have to be trained internally. Can you handle that power or not? And that's where mysticism and meditation, things like that come in. Otherwise, you see all the guys, they get on the top and they fail all the time.
हाम्रो कन्भर्सेसन एकछिन ब्रेक लिउँ. हामीले ब्रेक गर्छ त हामी छोटो ब्रेकमा गएर फेरि विल कन्टिन्यू विथ दिस कन्भर्सेसन. अहिले हामीहरू एउटा छोटो ब्रेक लिन्छौँ. ब्रेकपछि अतिथि लिएर फेरि हामीहरू आउँछौँ.
Goodwill Finance, financing for success since 1995.
Goodwill mai cha vishwas janta ko, Goodwill mai ho sathi safalta ko.
Goodwill Finance, financing for success since 1995.
हजुर स्वागत छ ब्रेकपछि तपाईहरुलाई कार्यक्रममा आज हामीसँग वी हेभ अ भेरी वन्डरफुल गेस्ट श्री दीपक शमशेर जबरा हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ एउटा भनाइ छ मान्छेलाई तीनटा चीजले बनाउँछ रे भनेर एउटा चाहिँ संगतले रे एउटा चाहिँ ट्राभलले रे एउटा चाहिँ रिडिङले अध्ययनले भनेर भनिन्छ तीनटै चीजको चाहिँ उहाँ खानी हुनुहुन्छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि दैट इज व्हाट इट मेक्स मिस्टर दीपक शमशेर जबरा अब म आफै अहिले कन्फ्युज भइरा छु हैन तपाईले चाहिँ आफुलाई पर्सनली हेर्दाखेरि कुन रोलमा चाहिँ तपाई सबभन्दा बढी सैटिस्फाइड हुनुहुन्छ द ट्राभलर फिलोसोफर राइटर एक्टर कुन रोलमा चाहिँ
एक्चुअली आई एम ऑल एवरीथिङ यु नो आई एम I told you before I like to do a lot of things. I like to try and do a zillion things. And most of, I mean, people my age, what they do is what you call they feel old. And obviously there are people that are handicapped. You know, mere just khutta chalira, dimag chalira, hath chalira. You shouldn't just stay back and let life pass by, you know. And then what happens? One day you find 10 years have gone behind you.
Pink Floyd.
No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah. So that's I always say, do it while you can, when you can.
Right.
And अस्ति यो एक महिना अगाडि पनि when it was raining, I was cooped up in the house. I didn't want to what to do, you know, watching TV. It was too much. I said no, I'm going somewhere. So I told my driver to drop me in Patan. I went over the Labin Mall ko bridge, and I was going to go down the road, Labin Mall ko road. But I found myself on the Narayani Hotel side, Etapati. So I said, hey, I'm out on the street. I'll take this road. So I went down, and after some time, at the end of the road, I saw this gate. I said, I've never seen this gate before. Let's see what the hell. I have to reach Patan Darbar Square, and I do this all the time because I'm interested in Tantrism, and Patan is where it all started actually. They say Vajrayana, Vajracharyas, Patan ko Vajracharyaharu, they exported the Vajrayana Buddhism to Tibet, and Vajrayana is mixed with Tantrism. Right. So I said, hey, this gate, okay, let's go. I went down and I was worried because it was raining. I didn't have an umbrella, but it was adventure. So I go down, I see all these streets. There were nice brass, like flowers on top of, in the front of each house, which looked nice, you know. They had this, I don't know what you call them, bati sati rakne.
Every morning biana
so I found that very interesting. I went down these lanes. There was a nook there somewhere, and people were going in. I said, what the hell, is that a dope shop or something? Because strange people are going in, coming out. Then I went and I saw this huge pond which I had never seen before. So I like to do things like that, you know. And obviously it started to rain, and I bought a 300 rupees umbrella, and then I went into the Patan Museum. I've gone 20 times. I just wanted to, I wanted to spend my time on my own. That's what I like to do. I go to Pashupatinath, I go to Kathmandu Darbar Square. I do it all the time. When I was operating in Kanchenjunga about 20 years ago, we just went Suketar. We used to land in Suketar at that time, and a lot of people say Lukla, the worst airport. You should have seen bloody Suketar at that time. This is, I'm talking about 30 years ago.
Okay.
There's a cliff on one side. There's the airport. It's a sheer drop on one side, and there's a mountain on the other side, and the runway is very short. So what happens is दुईतिर खोला छ अनि खोलाको त्यो मिस्ट आउँछ कुहिरो आउँछ, and you can't see the airfield. So you have to keep on going around, and then you see a gap, boom, you go in. You go in and you put on the brakes straight away because the damn mountain is in front of you. And so when I was there, this is like maybe 40 years ago, we were going down, and this most beautiful chain of 3 or 4 women with red baskets, and they had this, what do you call, the rato, it was dasaiko time, and they had rato mud ghar lipna, and they had this exquisite jewelry. Sunai sun tyo belama ta rai limbuharu purvako, my God, it blew my mind, you know. I stopped and asked him, because I wanted to see the jewelry, things like that. It really interests me.
Right.
And same thing happened when I was in the West, the Rukum Rolpatira. I travel up in 18,000, 20,000 feet all the time. And we went over this 18,000 feet pass, and we were going down. This chain of women were coming up. And I stopped in my tracks because they were wearing something around their neck. Mala lagairahako थियो. And I said, hey, hold it. What is it? And I looked at it. It was the obviously it's banned. The moss deerko tusks, right? And they had this whole necklace. 3-4 women. उनीहरुको चाहिँ नि त्यो jewelry जस्तो रहेछ.
बापरे.
It was really fascinating.
तपाईं सोधा मलाई तपाईं you do all these different things. तपाईले एउटा तपाईको टेबल कफी बुक पनि निकाल्नु भएको छ, अवेलेबल. यस जुन सिकारी भनेर निकाल्नु भएको छ नि, म छुन जान मन लाग्यो किन तपाईँ यहाँलाई त्यो छुएन भने आई डोन्ट थिंक इट विल डु जस्टिस टु यु बीइङ हियर. यो सिकारी जुन भन्ने कुरा छ यो नेपालमा पनि छ.
हजुर.
तपाईले यसलाई कसरी हेर्नुहुन्छ? जुन कमर्शियल हन्टर अथवा कमर्शियल व्यावसायिक सिकारी भन्छौ त्यो छ, त्यसलाई तपाईको आँखामा?
Actually, I didn't want to speak on that because there's a lot of what do you call, people up there who really go up in arms once they hear what I have to say. But basically what we've done now is we've destroyed all the forest, and we are living in the place where wildlife should be living. And the whole concept has changed. अब त्यो पुरा सखाप गर्नु भन्दा you shoot one so that 99 can live. That is the concept now. Right. In fact, about 20-30 years back, there was in Pakistan, they have these 3 goats, markhors. They had nothing. They were like 5 goats in one place, 10 goats in one place. And then what happened is the World Wildlife Fund plus Safari Club. These 2 guys got together. And I was also not actually taking part, but we knew what was happening. So we got them to Pakistan. They went to the tribal leaders and said, hey, listen, what you have here is a gold mine. You are not utilizing it. So what they did was gave money to the tribal people to get conserve the sheep. I mean, not sheep, goats. Now what happens is they are selling the one goat. There's like 9 goats they auction every year. One goat goes for nearly $90,000. And the guy who operates it, he probably sells it to people for $140,000, $150,000, and you can't get any place. That's how. And now what happens is you see hundreds of goats where there was just 2 or 3, but you have these Pathans, you know, with rifles. You look up in the skyline, right, and you'll see somebody. You look through the thing, and it's a guy with a Kalashnikov. Right. He's protecting all that area, you know. Because of the commercial value of that animal. Right. So, and it's been a big success. And the other success was the campfire in Africa. Now, out here, what's happening is, I mean, we've destroyed the forest, except for the national parks. Outside the national parks, I've been trying to do something in Rothart. That's where I was born. And we were trying to take over a piece of property from the government and try to commercialize it, build up something, the animals, the forest. And I couldn't do it because it was too near the international airport. Right. It was just 5 kilometers away. They said we can't have any hunting or guns going off here, so that had to go off. And so now I hear they just passed, it was on the works, but ek hafta agadi ki 10 din agadi commercial wildlife farming pass garya cha, which I hope that will bring back the wildlife as well as the forest.
Right.
The commercial bane aba mancherule ke re bandel chai ni sansano like farms ma pacha, not that. You take over a piece of land take it from the government, put it on lease and farm commercially farm on it.
Right.
You get the animals, you get the forest, everything will come back eventually after 10-15 years.
अब आज वर्ल्ड टुरिज्म डे
हजुर
अनि अब यु आर इन्भल्भ इन ट्राभल ट्रेड अल्सो सो त्यसको बारेमा अलिकति केही बताइदिनुहोस् न
I am a workaholic. When I was in Gokarna, you can ask the Yeti travel guys. म चाहिँ नि हाम्रो के हुन्थ्यो भने the planes at that time window seat was very important. You had to get the window seat for the mountain flight.
Of course.
And Yeti Travels त्यो बेलामा 200-300 जना मान्छे आउने उनीहरुको एकजना they had appointed one guy who took all the like 100 त्यो के रे tickets and he would be in line to get the window seat. I would be before him at 2:30 in the morning. The door is locked. There's a bloody tala out there. That guy would come. My God, you already here? Yeah. And Gorkha Travels was like maybe 50, 20, 30 seats. So I used to do that. Same thing with Gokarna. I worked from the morning till night. I go to sleep at maybe 12 o'clock, get up at 4 o'clock. 4-5 घण्टा मात्रै
कति धेरै मेहनत गर्नुहुन्थ्यो भन्ने कुरा त अघि नै पनि मैले थाहा पाएँ त्यो बेलुका लागेर मान्छेलाई तपाईले त्यहाँ कोकणमा ब्ल्याक लेपर्ड देखाउने भनेको कति गाह्रो छ पहिला जानु पर्यो दिउँसो बिहानै गएर समातेर ल्याउनु पर्यो तिनीहरूलाई कालो रङ लगाउनु पर्यो पुरै अनि लगेर फेरि बेलुका देखाउनु पर्यो मस्ट बी अ लट अफ वर्क
No. Okay. No, that was 100%. And I used to get surprised because they are very rare. And I used to love the work. And I also did. I did stints for the casino when Dick Tuttle was there. They told us to do 3 international tournaments. And we had like 300 people the first time, 400 people. Wow. And there's a little bit of a joke there. We were giving everything free. Going free, coming free. The ticket is free. Kathmandu, Delhi, Kathmandu, Calcutta, Kathmandu, Bombay, whatever. Free ticket. 3 days in Solti, free. Food, free. First prize, 3 lakhs. Second prize, 2 lakhs. This is Paplu.
Tubalago.
And third prize, 1 lakh or something. So you tell me, how do we make money? Do you have any idea? How? We are giving everything away free. So we had told our agent in India to get gamblers. His job was to get gamblers. So the gamblers would come with their wives and children and all, everything is free on the house. Tara, the tournament ends at 5 o'clock. So these guys, they are gamblers.
Right.
5 baje samma ta khel bihan dekhin belka samma. Haina rati ke garna. Then they 5 baje पछि they go to Pashupati, come back. They are not going to go to into the bed and sleep. Then they have to take out money from their pocket and play. So त्यो बेलामा दिनभरि खेल्थ्यो and रातभरि आफ्नै पैसाले ग्याम्बल गर्थ्यो. That's why we made the money. We made the first time, I think it was like त्यो बेलाको 5-6 lakh or something. Second time we got hit bad because our agent, what he did was he gave all those tickets, free tickets, to his Raju Bhai, Diji Bhai, nephews, nieces, And what happened was, my God, these guys, we had about 400 people coming in, and they, nobody gambled. They took a free ride. Then we got hold of that guy, कठलासँग यस्तो गर्छौँ सरी मलाई अब निकालिदिन्छु अर्को मान्छे राख्छौँ भनेपछि द थर्ड टाइम वी मेड मनी सो 3 times I did that packed up thank you Mr. Raghu भनेर गएँ
अब अहिले अलमोस्ट जाने बेला भइसक्यो तपाईँसँग भन्दै थियौँ हामीले तपाईँसँग कुराहरू चाहिँ समय दौड्छ भन्दै थियौँ हामीले अब वाट सुड बी अब नेपालको टुरिज्मको अब आज टुरिज्म डे बजेको भनिहाल्यो हामीले अब हामी के गर्दा बेस हुन्छ अब नेपालको टुरिज्म अब बिस्तारै रिबाउन्ड हुँदैछ वाट इज सजेस्ट फर नेपालको टुरिज्म
there's a lot of really good people in tourism right now because I've been there I see there are a lot of experts but they haven't gone to the right place. I suggest get hold of these, the old guys that are into travel agency, into hotels. Get them as advisors,
right,
and find some sort of a solution to what is going on. Right. I just read some people. My friends, I'm still in contact with some friends. They were saying quality tourism garu. Arule quantity kina nagarne. There's this thing going on right now. I'm reading it, So I mean, try and get together and find out a solution.
Right.
And त्यो गर्नलाई चाहिँ अहिलेको मान्छेहरूले हुँदैन. You have to get the right guys in the right place.
हजुर थ्याङ्क यू मिस्टर राणा बाइ द वे एउटा अपडेट भर्खर आएको छ कुशल मल्लले विश्व कीर्तिमान बनाए अरे तपाईँ आउनुभयो हामी दङ्ग पर्यौँ हाम्रो तर्फबाट
एकदम थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर योर टाइम
हाम्रो यो म्यागजिन पार्टनरको तर्फबाट एउटा म्यागजिन कहिले पल्टाउनुको लागि यहाँलाई इट वाज वन्डरफुल ह्याभिङ यु हियर एज अ गेस्ट हैन समीर
इट वाज माई प्लेजर युजुअली आई डोन्ट दिस बट समीरले भनेपछि त आउनै पर्यो हैन
मैले टिमलाई भनेको थिएँ तपाईले ल्याउनै पर्छ तपाईसँग कुरा त धेरै कुरा आउँछ समय पुग्दैन
होला गो अन फर अ लङ टाइम बट आई मिन
यो सिक्वल जसरी पार्ट 4 छ त्यस्तै हाम्रो पनि कन्भर्सेसनको पार्ट 2 सुन हामी प्रयास गरौँला अहिले हामी बिदा लिन्छौँ पाउनलाई पनि बिदा गर्छौँ अनि खेरि त्यसपछि हामी उपस्थित हुनेछौँ